Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, and I'd like to thank everyone for rejoining me. We are going through Kingdom of Fear by Hunter S. Thompson, the audiobook. So, I've been enjoying this. I have read this book several times and was quite intrigued by the audio. So, we'll get right into this. So we're going to have the overlap with the end of the last Kingdom of Fear video, but that's going to be a standard, and I feel, at least in these early first, 6-7 videos, that I need to point it out. I don't know why, it's just me.
Phone. What the hell, I thought. People ask me these questions because they know I am a famous sports writer. The trade is meaningless, I said. It is like trading a used mattress for a $300 bill.
And yeah, I have to take his word on that. Not a real big sports fan. I don't dislike sports. It's just, I'm not a real big sports fan.
And that was that, apparently. The writer was suddenly called away from his desk and hung up on me. So what, I thought. I didn't want to talk to him anyway. I had serious work to do, and Anita was getting hungry. It was time for another road trip.
Yes, his road trips in his nonfiction are great. The only thing is anybody that had any kind of adventurous, lascivious, or otherwise crazy life, especially in your late teens through your 20s, maybe into your mid-30s, there are parallels.
There are 8 or 9 truly exotic towns to visit in the great American West, but Thomasville, Colorado is not one of them.
He just puts it out there, kind of puts it like he says it like he sees it.
Richard Nixon doomed the town when he reluctantly signed the Clean Air Act of 1970, which soon led to the forcible closing of both the town's gas stations because their 50-year-old underground storage tanks were rusted out and leaking rotten gasoline into the tumbling white waters of the Frying Pan River, a once famous trout fishing mecca. It took us about 5 hours.
Yeah, one thing about Thompson, definitely an environmentalist.
To climb the 30 steep miles up to Thomasville. I was driving my trusty Red Shark, a rebuilt 1973 454 Chevy Caprice with power windows and heated seats and a top speed of 135.
Which, things I've read about Thompson and interviews and stuff, that car probably saw that top speed on a regular basis.
Although not on a winding uphill 2-lane blacktop that rises 6,000 feet in 30 miles.
That is quite a bit of grade.
That is serious climbing, from summer heat and peach trees up to chilly, bleak timberline, and then to the snow-capped peaks of the Continental Divide, where wild beasts roam and humans live in pain. This is the road that leads up to the dreaded Hagerman Pass.
Yeah, the thing is, I can visualize that, and I have seen enough pictures and stuff that I can kind of visualize that in my head.
But not yet. Nope, we are getting ahead of our story, and only a jackass would do that.
I just love the way that he just kind of, points things out like that. It's kind of cool.
We were almost to Thomasville when I noticed a cluster of flashing police lights and a cop of some kind standing in the middle of the road waving a red flag. Oh, Jesus, I groaned. What the fuck is this? Anita was scrambling to get a half-gallon jug of Chivas Regal out of sight, which is not an easy thing to do in a huge red convertible with the top down and a beautiful half-naked girl leaning over the back seat.
Yeah, Thompson's, I believe Anita was his second wife, and she was maybe his third wife, but she was 15, 20 years younger than he is, or was at the time of his death.
People will stare. In any case, we soon learned that the new plan, just in from Washington, is to keep weirdos, foreigners, and other dangerous bad apples out of all national forests in the nation.
I remember that because the National Forest, the Sam Houston National Forest here in Huntsville, the Huntsville-Walker County area, had several areas that were designated for target shooting. And after 9/11, they fenced them off, closed them down, no more. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Bush closed all that down.
Unless they set fires and spread anthrax or anything else that swarthy terrorists are wont to do. They are evil, they are savage, and they must be arrested before they set fire to the whole goddamn country. I've never had any special fear of foreigners myself, but I recognize a nationwide nervous breakdown when I see one.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We had a major breakdown as a society, September 12th, 2001.
It is embarrassing for openers, and it sucks.
He does have a really, really good point.
Most people are happy on Fridays, but not me. At least not yesterday, when I drove up the mountain to assess the firefighting and water flow capacity of a bleak mountain community called Thomasville, on the map and right smack in the middle of the National Forest tinderbox that is already burning with monster firestorms that leap from hill to hill like summer lightning and kill everything they can reach.
Yeah, even though this is Colorado, and also you got the same problem in California. And hell, last summer here in Texas, we had every time you blinked your eye, or at least here, I know in Walker County, there was at least 3 times that we got notified to have your shit packed and be ready to vacate at a moment's notice. So, you know.
Big fire is a terrifying thing to deal with up close, and you never forget it. The panic, the heat, the deafening roar of the flames overhead. I feel queasy every time I think about it. If freezing to death is the nicest way to die, then burning to death in a forest fire is no doubt the ugliest. Beware. Fire is like lightning. They will both kill you, but lightning doesn't hurt as much.
And he has a very, very valid point right there.
It is a monumental whack with no warning at all, and hopefully that is it. Gone. No more. And minimal mortuary charges. Surviving a lightning strike is even worse than dying from it, according to people who have lived, returned from the dead, in fact, because 8 billion volts of electricity is an unacceptable trauma to tissue of the human body.
Yeah, that's just, our flesh, both internal and external, not designed for that kind of energy absorption.
It fries everything in its path and leaves every organ in the body, from blood vessels to brain cells and even the sexual system, charred like overcooked bacon for the rest of its delicate life.
Yeah, there are those that know me that would probably contest and swear in court on the Holy Bible that my brain cells would probably be fairly unaffected by that, but you know, it is what it is, and these are my friends I'm talking about.
My friend Tex got hit by lightning one gloomy afternoon in the parking lot of the Woody Creek Tavern. "It kicked the mortal shit out of me," he said later. "It blasted me 50 goddamn feet across the road and over a snow fence. I was out for 40 minutes, and when I woke up, I smelled like death."
Yeah, that's that's the experience. Of all the experiences that I've wanted to have in my life and that I have had, getting hit by lightning is not one of them.
I was there that day, and I thought a bomb had gone off right in front of me. I was unconscious for a while, but not for long. When I woke up, I was being dragged toward a shiny sky blue ambulance by two well-meaning medics from the sheriff's office. I twisted out of their grasp and backed against an ice machine. "Okay, boys," I said calmly. "The joke is over. Let's not get crazy about this. Give me some air, gentlemen," I croaked.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but in some areas and in some situations, you can be legally obligated to, at least get checked out by EMTs. But I don't think, because if you take an ambulance ride, you're paying for it, regardless if it was your choice or not. So I'm not sure exactly how the law is on that, especially at the time that this was written. 2001, 2002, right in there. Into 2001, 2002. I don't know. So yeah, there's no telling.
I feel a little jangled, but I know it will pass. Get your hands off me, you pig fucker.
Yeah, EMTs probably don't take real kindly being called pig fucker.
No doubt it sounded rude to casual onlookers, but in truth, it was not. I was just kidding with them. They know me. Friday afternoons are usually loose and happy in this valley, but today was different. I live in the mountains at an altitude of 8,000 feet, which is roughly 1.5 miles high.
Yeah, that air is thin. One year for our anniversary, me and the wife went to Colorado, and I did some rather extraneous, exercise and stuff. And this was in Colorado City, and it tore my lungs up for about 3 days. That air was so thin, wasn't used to it, so it is what it is.
That is big air, as they say in the zoom business. It makes for large lungs and thin blood, along with dangerously expensive real estate. Life has always been a little spooky up here, but now as this vicious new century swarms over us like a fester of kudzu vines, life in these mountains is becoming living, relentless hell.
Yeah, Thompson was not real big about the expansion of people into his little neck of the woods.
The whole state of Colorado is on fire, according to the New York Times, and the nerdish Republican governor is raving like a banshee about the death of Colorado as we know it before the summer is over.
Well, yeah. Probably one of those pick yourself up by your bootstraps because you're not me, but I want my FEMA money type of person.
That would be about 90 days on most calendars, or right about September 11th, 2002. Only one horrible year after those stupid bastards blew up the WTC. We will actually be at war by then, and anybody who doesn't like it will be locked up in a military holding pen.
And he was exactly right about that.
Weird things happen when you get whacked by serious lightning. Many years ago, 19 members of the Strange family in North Carolina were struck at the same instant when they all leaned against a chain-link fence at a July 4th fireworks display. They all survived, but none prospered. It was like some horrible, merciless coincidence out of the Old Testament. or extremely bad karma to millions of non-Christians, among whom I definitely count myself.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of crazy. We'll go ahead and call this video good here. And until next time, everyone have a good day. Be good to humans. Be a good human. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?